Okay, to continue on where I just left off a second ago, we had this pedit command. So we are going to do pedit. Whoops, get into AutoCAD, and now we're going to do pedit. Select this guy. We're going to edit the vertexes. We're going to edit the width. We started this width back here. I thought that looked like a 0.4, right? And our next segment is 0. And then we're going to go to the next vertex, puts us up here. We're going to edit the width. And 1.0 still looks fine, right? That looks like about right. And what's the end one? The end one's probably going to be 0, right? And now we're going to go to the next. And now we're going to move this guy back. We're going to move it back maybe to, what, I don't know, out there. How's that? Not quite as proportional as this one was, but you get the idea, right? So that's our pedit command. And now let's go over here. This one we're going to use the edit vertex options, and still pedit. So we're going to work on this structure here that we've got, and we're going to do pedit. We're going to select this guy, and we're going to edit vertexes again. And let's go next. Let's go previous right in here. So there we've got that. And this should be straight across, right? So let's try straighten. And I think we're going to try next. Go. Yep, there we go. So you can see how we straightened that through there. And then you're just going to drive around and you're going to do that on the next couple. So here's next, next. And we want to flatten this. So we go next. Once we're here, that'll be the next one. So we're straightening ahead of us. We're going to go straighten. We're going to pick next as our option because that's shooting ahead. So it's going to straighten between those two. And then we're going to click go, and it does it right through there. So that's how that works. I'll let you work on that. The rest of this one, you started with this. You're supposed to go to that, but they forgot to draw it over here. So we're going to copy this thing first. So select it, Control C to copy, click over here, Control V. I'm going to paste this in. There we go. Escape, make sure I'm out of it. Now we're going to use the grips, and this is actually a little easier to do this. So we highlight it, and then if you hover over it, it gives you the grip options. And I want to convert that to a line. Oh, look at that. All right, here's that flat part. Just converted that to a line. All right, so I select it. I hover over this grip. And what do I want to do? I can remove that vertex completely. Oh, look at that. It's the exact diagonal that I wanted. All right, through there. So, and hold it, hover over it, convert that to a line. You can also hover over it. Now, see, the second time around, it doesn't usually work. So you got to select it, hover, and now you can convert that to an arc, and then you can make that arc whatever size you want. So there you go. I'll let you finish that one. So that's that. Next, we've got splines. So we're going to do splines. If you want to know where splines are, here's polyline, by the way, up here in the upper left corner. If you use this drop-down menu, here's where your splines live. This is your spline fit. And so you're going to fit onto points. And then this is a spline with control vertices, which kind of gives you the centroid of the vertices you want. Spline fit was actually going to draw a spline curve right through the points. And so we're going to do the first one here. And you're supposed to go left to right. Click in the centers of these guys. You can see this left clicking through there. And when you're done, I just right click. And that's cancels it. If you didn't use that right click option like I showed you at the beginning, it'll ask you if you want to cancel command, select that, and that ends it. So that's spline. That's our first one. It actually should be drawing as close as we can see if we do regen here. It is drawing it right through the center of those little X's through that. All right. The option is splines HV. So we're going to pick the same points and just draw right over the top of it. And I think we're right there. Yep. And right there, right click, I'm done. So see, now this is showing you the control points for that spline. And if we click it, it shows you where the control points are. You can get crazy. You can move this sucker around. Look at that. Ooh. All right, escape out of that. All right, so that's our control vertices. Next, they want you to take this over here, and then you're going to use the close command. So this is an open spline, and you're just going between these points. A closed one says that you know it's supposed to be a complete loop, a closed loop, in which case, at this point, it's not. Right, so I'm going to do Control C. I'm going to drop this over here, Control V, like that. And now I'm going to do spline edit. Type it all in. Whoops, there it is. Which spline? I'm going to select that spline. What I want to do, I'm going to close it. There it is. Escape. Oops. Yeah, you have to enter, not escape. So if I hit the right key, the right mouse button, it repeats the command. That's what we set up earlier. And now I'm going to close it. And now I should say exit. Now I've got it. Right. It closed that one. And then you're going to do the same thing for this guy, close, exit. There you go. And so that's made a closed loop out of those two splines. All right, through that. Down here, this chapter 15, this is good stuff to know. This is how you measure things in your drawings. We use this all the time in civil engineering. You're going to, later on in the semester, we're going to do some examples where we're drawing roads and driveways and stuff like that. For quantities, we're always trying to figure out how much area is inside of one of these shapes, right? Or what the dimensions are on these shapes through that. So we use this stuff all the time. And so there's a direct line command for it, which is mesgeom. And, oops, it helps if you spell it right. Why am I not spelling it? Measure geom. There we go. What do you want to measure? Distance, radius, angle, area. You can click area. And if you wanted to know the area of like circle 7, I think that's one of the questions, right? What are we going to measure the area of? You can draw your area, or you can say, I'm going to measure the area of an object. We want object, so I'm going to hit O, space bar, select the object, boom. And you can see it shaded it in for me too. So, and what's my area? It'll tell you down here, 0.3417. It also tells you right here. So look at either place, it'll tell you what that area is, right, through that. You can do also, if up here in your toolbar, if you're in the Home tab, if you scroll over here to measure, you've got all the same things here. So if you prefer using icons and not typing the command, it's right here, right? Maybe this is easier to remember where it's at. So I'm going to measure area. What am I going to measure the area of? Right? You can click around out here and make your own area, right? And spacebar when you're done. It tells you how much that area is, right? Through that. The one way to use that, if you want to do it that way, is you could actually snap, right to those points. You can see how I'm snapping. And it's going to measure the area. I could do that all the way around. Well, that's a lot of clicking. I'm lazy. I don't want to have to do that. So I'm going to measure the area, and I'm going to use this object option. So I'm going to O space bar. Which object? That object. And it grabbed it right through there. So that's all those. Everything shaded is what's in this number, 64.4194. All right. In the area, what the units it's using is whatever your base unit is. When you set up your drawing, that was from back in chapter 1 and 2. Whatever you set your base units to be. All right. Typically, it's either inches or feet. Is what our base unit is. And I'm asking you to show that you've done all this work. This is an example from the book. Is to come over here and edit this text box. So it reminds you how to edit text, right? Double click. Where'd it go? No. Double clicked and I erased it. Don't do that. There we go. And you're just going to come over here and you're going to type in whatever that is. Whoa, I think it was 0.4 or something, right? And then there you go. So when you're done, you're going to have this all edited and you're going to be telling me all the information off of there. All right, do that. And I'm going to undo all of that. There we go. All right, now we're getting to the fun stuff, dimensioning, right? This is huge. We do this all the time in whatever drawing we're doing. I'll show you later. We don't normally do it in model space. We normally do it in paper space, but that's a whole other level of something we haven't got to yet, right? So dimensioning, if you look up here across the top, that's considered an annotation. And so if you go to this annotate tab right up here, so home, insert, then annotate, go to annotate. Here's all your dimensions. Here's your text. Here's your leaders. Leaders is the next piece we're going to do for right now, we're going to do dimensions, right? And the first thing they're going to do is have you change the dimension style. So standard is our dimension style. You go to manage. There you go. This looks a lot like when we did it with text, right? So there's our standard one. And we want to get precision of 2 decimal places for both linear and angular dimensions, or a new one. So we're going to do a new style. We're going to call it style 1. All right. We're going to start with standard. That looks great. We're continuing on. Okay, here we go. And what's our primary units? This is where our precision, we can set that to 2 decimal places up here in this tab, right? As there's telling us to do, we want 2 decimal places for linear dimensions, and we want 2 decimal places for angular dimensions. And does it tell us to do anything else? Nope. So I think we're done. So that's style. Style 1, if we want to use it, we have to set current, and then we're okay. And now to tell you here, style 1 is what's ready to go. Right, that's why that's showing there. You can change it also by clicking here and then clicking standard or annotative, or sticking with style 1. First one is we want to do aligned, right? And so you can come up here. Here's linear dimensions. If you do this drop down, here's aligned. Aligned is going to align it parallel with the leaders are parallel. It's being measured along that alignment through there, right? And I'm going to right click, and that restarts the same command. That's why I switched that, right? So I can do this really quickly. Right. The text is set differently. The text is set to be aligned, or not, it's justified by your page. Right, there we go. But your leaders are aligned along it, right, through that. If you want to dimension angles, right, we can just come down here. Here's an angular dimension. Dimension the angle shown. You remember, if you're not sure what to click, read what it says down here. First thing off, it says specify vertex. Well, first we're going to specify this angle. What's the second one? And then here we go. And we can just throw that in there. There we go. We've measured our angle. And again, it's got that 2 decimal places because that's what we set up in our style 1 to be that. You can do aligned on all 3 sides, do aligned on all those sides, right? Right, you know how to do that. Now these get a little trickier over here, and they're cool, but let me show you how to do these. This one you might need a little more help with the first time around, right? Especially if you don't have your book, it's not so good. All right, so we're going to start off with just doing a dimension, and you can use dim is the basic command. So that's that one. See here, it's repeating that command. All right, and so what am I going to do? I have to dimension one of these first. So I want to dimension horizontally. I want to measure these horizontally using the baseline option. But I have to have one in there first. So I'm going to put this one in there first, okay? And now down here, what's my options? Now my option is baseline. I can hit B space bar, all right? But you have to start with the first extension line. These are called extension lines. This one and this one's an extension line, right? So this is my first. I'm going to start with this one. And then I'm going to roll over here, nab that point, oops, nab that point, and right click to be out, and look at that. So that's what it means by baseline. I mean, you had to tell it which one to start with. Once you tell it which one to start with, it just jumps those all in there for you, all right, through that. All right, same thing over here, and we're done, so I can escape. I'm out of that, right? If I wanted to dimension this guy, start again. I can put this a little lower so I don't get too far up. Now I can do continue and specify the extension line origin, that guy. I probably should have picked the other one. Let's break it up. Oh, that's kind of cool. Didn't know it did that. All right, let's start over. Escape. All right, and now we're going to, let's go back. Dimension. Now I'm going to do continue. First extension line is that guy. Wow. All right, I clicked the wrong place. Don't click there. All right, so my number's a little wrong. That's what continue means. It just progressively adds them on. Baseline puts them all back to the same base point through that. Now it also wants you to measure the vertical sides using just a standard dim command. So you'll have a single measurement on that, but you do need to do all the sides for that. All right. I'll let you figure out those. Through that, you can also come up here and then you can do your radiuses. All right, if you pick an arc, it'll throw the radius in for you. Oh, look at that. So there's my 3.0. I'm going to right click. Okay, right click. There we go. Once these dimensions are in there too, you can click them, right? And now you've got grips. You've got those little blue boxes. You can drag those suckers around and put them wherever you want, right? So if you don't like where they landed the first time, you can move it and move them around through there. Okay. So radius, you can do diameter. I'll let you guys figure that out. Arc length. Let's see, we have arc length in here. Here's arc length. Measure that guy. Do you want the dimensions on the inside or the outside? Let's put them over there. So our arc length is 5.71, right? That's kind of cool. Jogged, let's show that. Jogged is sometimes to specify the center location. All right. Here's what jogged looks like. And again, if you don't like it, you can move them around, right? So there's our jogged one through that. So I'll let you guys go through and do that. The last thing I want to show you is how to do this Multileader business. So here's Multileader. That's what Multileader stands for, Multileader. If you click this, you can see that's the same command we're supposed to be using, Multileader. There's Multileader, right? So we know we're in that. And we're just going to click in here, and we are going to type in all this text. That's a 3-line leader. That's what the base one is. Well, anyway, so we're going to do 2x 6 studs, so it's an architectural 16-inch on center, right? And you can put 2 more lines in, and when you're done, you just click off. There's your 3 lines. You'd have all this written over there. That's your leader, right through there, and that's set as leader style standard, right through that. Now, when you do this leader, you can change your options down here. If you switch options, right, and you change leader type. All right, you can select between straight spline or none. And so if we do straight, right, and now we can, I'm selecting straight, leader type, and I can back out, exit options, and now I'm ready to draw. And so that's a straight leader. I just hit escape. Yeah, sure. That shows you what the straight leader looks like. Oh, actually, that one's supposed to be in spline. Sorry. And we can move this over. Okay. We can do spline. We can do leader, O for options, L for leader type, and P for spline, or click on it right through there. Now we have to hit X to exit the options. Now we're ready to draw it. And that's what a spline one looks like, right? So it's a nice shape. I'm just going to hit escape, and I can put text in it. So that's what the spline is through there. Dot arrow, no arrow, you actually need to create a new leader type for those. So we're going to do manage ones. We're going to do a new leader type, and we're going to call this one style 1, because that's what we were doing before. All right, and over here now you can show what kind of what they mean by, can't move that up. What they mean by the dot is, there's our dot arrow. So you can change what the end of your arrow looks like. So we're going to go to dots. So that's our arrowhead is now a dot symbol. You can change the size and all that. And that's style 1. We're setting style 1. Style 1 is set current. Close. And now if I do a multi-leader in style 1, now I've got that dot right through there. All right, so that's dot arrow. Now you can make another style called style 2, and you can have a no arrow, nothing at all. It'll just be a bare line that touches there. All right, so there's your leader piece, and I'll let you go ahead and leader those out. So hopefully that gives you an overview of what to do today. Good luck on that. Let me know. Feel free to send me emails if you have any questions on that, and we'll see. These should be due on Tuesday. Maybe Monday. I think it's Monday night, because I want to be ready for Tuesday for a new lesson on that. All right, good luck.